Today we're going to talk about the club face and some lessons that I wish I knew about 10 years ago about the club face that could have saved me a whole lot of time and a whole lot of struggling. If you're brand new to our channel, make sure you subscribe. If you hit the bell button, you'll see our future videos. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoy that content today. So about 10 years ago, I qualified for the Colorado Open. I think the purse was like $25,000. Now I think it's over $100,000. But I was happy that I qualified, and I'd been playing pretty good to that point. And I didn't know a whole lot about the club face. I didn't know a whole lot about my golf swing, which I thought I did at that time. But so the very first hole, I hit a 3-wood down the middle. I hit it onto the green with like a 9-iron, and then I proceeded to make par. Very simple first hole, good start. Second hole, I hit the ball a little bit right, and so automatically I didn't think about the club face. I thought about, oh, my swing must be too much inside out. That's why I hit the ball right. Next hole, I hit the ball right again. This time it goes into a lake. I proceeded to hit the next ball right into the lake, thinking, man, I am so stuck inside right now. I'm blocking everything out. All right, here is the moral of the story. The path was okay. I didn't have a TrackMan or flight scope or anything at that point in time, but I thought the swing was the most important part. The path of the swing was the most important part, and that's a complete lie. The most important part of the golf swing to hit it straight is your control of the club face. So the first thing you need to do is we're going to make sure you know how to grip it correctly. And we're going to say right-handed golfer, you can see two knuckles. You're going to see a V that goes to my right shoulder. If I hold it correctly and I drop my back 3 fingers, the club doesn't drop. So that means the pad of the club is being supported, so the club face is going to be more stable. If I hold it too much in the palm and I drop this back 3 fingers, I lose control of the club face. So make sure you grip it correctly. We're just talking straight neutral club face today. Right hand, it's going to feel like your thumb and your pointer finger kind of squeeze together. So there's no gap right here. If it's too much in your palm, it's in your palm. You're going to see lots of gap between your thumb and your finger. They need to be close together. I interlock it or overlap it. Some may interlock it. Some 10 finger. Not very many people 10 finger it anymore. There's a few on tour, not very many. Most actually overlap, but it doesn't matter, whatever your preference is. So that is a straight club face. Very simple test. You've seen it in my past videos. If I grip it too strong and I extend my arms out, it closes. If I grip it too weak and I extend my arms out, it opens. If I grip it with a neutral grip, I extend my arms out, club stays square. Okay? So don't get too caught up on your path or you're going to struggle like I did. So the first thing is grip is good. Okay? Now, when I was hitting it right, it was a bad 2 days. I did not make the cut. It was pretty terrible. I think the second day actually got rained out after 9 holes, which I was very thankful for. Okay. The only fairway that I actually hit that day was the 9th fairway, and there was water all along the right-hand side. I tried to snap hook it, and it went straight. So it kind of shows you how bad the club face was at that point in time. Now we're going to break down where the ball goes based off your club face and based off of your path. Okay, so currently my miss is, well, I'll just hit one, but it doesn't mean you can see it or track it on flight scope. I probably could do that, but my current miss is the ball starts off straight and then draws left. What that means is my path is probably pretty good, but my face is closed. If the ball started off a little bit to the right and it comes back to the middle, that means my path is probably a little bit more inside out, but the face is still the same way as the one that goes straight and goes left. So either I can fix the club face or I can modify my path. If you're watching this video, I would fix the club face. So either I have to feel like I don't bow my wrist as much on the way down, because that is what closes the face, not flipping it. It's the bowing of the left hand. Either I have to feel like I bow more to hit it straight, or I weaken my grip, or at impact, I have to get more open. All those things will help the face stay square a little bit longer. So for me, I typically try to get a little bit more open and I try to grip it just a little weaker, and I can feel my bowing of my left hand, so I just tried not to do it as much. And then I start to get the ball flight that I like to see, which is a little bit start to the right and draw back to the left. Now, most of you out there, let's say we're talking about somebody who hits a proper fade. Proper fade is when the ball starts left and cuts back into the middle. Right? Most of the time when somebody hits a fade, is their path is going to be, I wouldn't say on the steeper side, it's just going to be a little bit more outside, and then their face is actually going to be just a little bit open. So the path pulls it a little left, but the face being open allows it to come back into the middle. Slicers, if you don't fix your path, a slice is somebody who is more excessively outside, and then they get this face wide open, and so they pull it, but then it just keeps on going further right. If you keep on aiming further left, it's going to go even harder to the right. So what you need to do is you need to fix the face. So if you are a slicer, what you need to see is you need to see basically what my club face is. You need to feel like it is closed. You got to grip it. You got to turn that left hand down. And even if your path is out here, but your face is left, all right, the ball will at least start left, and then it'll cut back. So it'll be more of a pull cut, right? And if you can control the pull cut, that is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with pull cutting it into the middle of the fairway 14 times over 18 holes. That's great. You hit 14 fairways. Right? You need to manage that club face to make it good. So you need to practice on feeling like the face is more closed. This is going to be more excessive as the club becomes longer. So with your driver, the club face might feel like it looks like this, but when you're turning and if you're over the top, it actually turns into something that's more square. Okay, so that's what you need. You need to manage the club face as the club becomes longer. You have to be more excessive with closing it. If you're a person who blocks it right, okay, a block is simply, it can be shallow, back on plane, but the face is open. It's just a straight block. All right, so when you're talking about club face, this controls basically your starting line. So if it's going right, face is open. Going straight, congratulations, it's square. If it's going left, the face is closed. All right, I would say more of the curve comes from the path of the golf ball. All right, so try to figure out what your face is. If there's a TrackMan, or if a driving range nearby has one of those TrackMan systems or whatever it's called. All right, try to figure out what your consistent face is so you can start to modify it. Get a lesson with somebody who has a TrackMan or a Flight Scope. You take a lesson with me, we can work on it that way. Right? But we need to get good at knowing what our club face is, because once you fix your club face, you can start to fix the path, or you can become consistent with the path that you have as long as you are consistent with the club face. I've given lessons to guys who have how do we want to, amazing golf swings as far as like I don't know how they actually hit the ball as well as they do, but they are so good with managing the club face that I let them get away with a lot of things, just because if you're hitting the ball straight and you're hitting it good, even though you got some goofy moves going on, I'm totally okay with that. Hit the ball good. We'll just try to simplify it as we go along. It doesn't have to be a massive fix. But club face is king. Understand where it starts, what the ball does in the sky, so you can start to fix it. But pay attention to your starting line. It is all due to that club face. And if you are good at controlling the club face, you will hit the ball much more where you want it to go.